We've got 85 slabs back from PSA. I do know the grades in these, as usual, I checked them online. Pretty happy with this submission overall. Interested to see what you guys think of it. Let me know in the comments down below which one of the cards is going to be your favourite. But we're going to start off, none of the grade hiding stuff. We've got a PSA 10 Japanese Nidoking from 151. Very happy to get 10 on that. I mean, obviously anything sort of modern Japanese, we do expect to be getting 10s. We've got an English Zapdos from the 3-pack blister. Unfortunately got the 9. I'm not too sure why. Maybe centering. Again, this was one of the submissions that was in PSA whilst they changed the centering parameters. So they changed it from 60-40 to 55-45 whilst I had it at PSA. We've then got the Lucario V-Star, which is the ETB promo from Crown Zenith. You'll have seen me send quite a few of these off. I think I had, what did I get, 3 10s in the last submission. So I bought a bunch of Crown Zenith when I was getting back into it last year. And the majority of them were the ETBs. They were going far too cheap. I think I was buying ETBs for circa like £40. And I just thought it was a really good opportunity. We've got the Orocorio from Crown Zenith here in a PSA 9. This was one of the 2 cards that I submitted that I bought off of an eBay lot where the guy was selling Galarian Gallery cards for like £2-3 each. I opened them on YouTube ages ago. The majority came with a bit of whitening. Both of them that I submitted in this submission did have a white dot on them, so I don't really know why I submitted it. Anyway, got the 9, which can't really grumble about on the Orocorio there, PSA 9. We'll take one from the top because it's English here. We did get the 9 on the poster collection Vaporeon, which I guess must be centering related. I'm not too sure. Again, I'm not going to go into detail with all of these cards, but so far English isn't looking that hot. Next up, we've got the Sawsbuck in the 10, which is very nice. Absolutely love this card. Love the fact it pairs with the Deerling. Again, I had a couple of these in the last submission, so absolutely delighted to have some more there for when the ones that are listed on eBay at the moment sell, or they could be for giveaways on Whatnot. Speaking of Whatnot, my Whatnot links are in the description. If you want to sign up to become a seller, you can use my referral link there to get your first £150 in sales matched, so get basically 350 quid. Or if you want to become a buyer, you can use the other link and you can get £5 or £10 free to spend. £10 free to spend. It is £10 free to spend on Whatnot, whether that's my stream or another stream. Next up, we've got the Japanese Serial Edge and a PSA 10. The art rare, again, modern Japanese. It's what we expect, but still love to see it. Obviously, the last submission didn't have that every time. There's the Deerling, which matches with the Sawsbuck. So I'll just quickly show that for anybody who is unfamiliar. This is like the evolution and the pre-evolution. So you've got the Deerling and the Sawsbuck matching there, which is very nice. Love the art on that. Super sick. In fact, are those? Yeah, that's sequential, but the wrong way. So maybe the next one will be another one of those. I tended to submit them in pairs. Okay, so we've got the 49 here. So we do have the other Deerling. Yeah, okay, that makes sense. So we've got Deerling into Sawsbuck as a sequential pair. Very nice. And then we've got an English card at the bottom here for some reason. Oh, okay, cool. So we've got the Prismatic Evolutions EV PSA 10 from the ETB. Delighted to get a 10 on this. I sent 2 off in the last submission and both got 9s, which I was quite gutted about. So it is nice to see the 10, but it's almost like I felt like the other 2 I sent last time should have got the 10, so it's a bit disappointing that those 2 didn't, but obviously we'll take it now. What have we got here? Oh, nice. We've got the Latios art rare. Again, that's one, if you guys have been watching any of the previous videos, you guys would have been seeing that I bought a bunch of these. I just think they were super underrated for what they were. Was depending on the seller, was buying them anywhere from sort of £5 to £8 per. So a really nice card there to pick up. We've got an English card next. Another one of these. It's weird how they don't send them back in the same order that you submit them in. They used to do that, I'm sure. Anyway, we did get the 10 on this EV as well. So from going from 2 9s to 2 10s, very strange behaviour, but here's what it is. It's PSA. Who knows if they're doing some pop control or not. Next up, we've got the Infernape in the PSA 10, the Japanese art rare. Super sick card. It's one that's done pretty well for me in the past. The price, as with a lot of these, has dropped slightly, but nonetheless, I still think this is one of the best art rares from the era. Absolutely love it, and no doubt will be appearing on Whatnot at some point, because I did submit a couple. Oh, next one. We've got the PSA 10 Poliwhirl from Japanese 151. This was a card, last submission I got a 9 and 8 I believe, which again, last submission was just weird. I got some really strange grades, didn't really agree with it at all. I think the submitter was, in general, having a bad day. There was a couple of grades where I thought he was fair, but for the most part, I don't think he overgraded anything. I think he undergraded quite a lot. Anyway, just to say that this is obviously a very nice card, probably worth about £40 in a PSA 10. Also, hopefully you guys would have seen that I'd have been popping up the prices of each grade, thereabouts. Obviously, it's prices at the time of recording this. Prices are always subject to change. We've got the Dragonair from Japanese 151, also in a 10. Surprisingly, one of the cheaper cards in the PSA 10. I was quite surprised when I priced this up to list. I did think that this would be more expensive than it is, given that the raw card isn't one of the cheaper ones. Nonetheless, very happy to have a 10. The 10 stack is growing. We've got another one of the Mesprits. So again, I sent a few of these off. I've tended to stagger them in submissions so that if I've got multiples of the same card, not trying to submit like 5 or 6 at the same time. Strategy behind that is purely because I kind of feel like if you send 10 of the same card, regardless if they're all going to get a 10, I can't imagine them all coming back at 10, but who knows, maybe I'm just making things up with that. Anyway, got a nice Mesprit there in the PSA 10. This one got a 9, unfortunately. Your guess is as good as mine. It's Japanese, it's modern, I'd have pre-graded it, so there's probably nothing or very little wrong with it. Next up, we got the 8 on the Charmeleon. This one I will investigate. So I don't even know if that would be it. So, oh no, I can see something. There's like a little, I mean, I don't think you'll be able to see it because of the lighting, but there is a little sort of scratch bottom right. Again, even though I check under all sorts of different lights, clearly still missed some stuff, or it might have happened in shipping, or it might have happened at PSA, who knows. We did get the 10 on the War Turtle, very nice, Japanese 151. Again, I just think they're all going to do very, very well. If you're buying Japanese 151 booster boxes, they're very expensive, so why not just buy the 10? We did get the 10 in the Charmeleon. This is actually sold, so I can tell you the price live. I listed these like a day before I knew I was going to get them into me so that I could sort of just spend the time listing them. This sold for £43 plus shipping plus eBay fees. So I think all in, the buyer probably spent the best part of £48-ish. So I'll put that one to the side because I need to take it out anyway. But not bad there, pretty happy with that return. Obviously gutted about the 8. We did get a 9 on the Yveltal. We got 2 10s, I think, in the last one, so it's alright. I need to list this one up for sale, but we'll hopefully at least sort of break even on the 9, maybe make a couple of pounds profit. Next up, we did get another Poliwhirl PSA 10, which is great to have, so once we've sold the first one, we'll list the second one, or we might use it as a giveaway. Time, we'll see. We've got another one of the Latios there in the PSA 10. I just think this is, again, a brilliant card. Not going to dwell on it. It's really, really nice, and I think it's one that'll do well over time. We did get the 8 on the Chansey. There is a slight nick top left, like the littlest bit of silvering, which I do not recall seeing. It must be that, because there's nothing else. I mean, I don't think the camera would even pick that up. So, 2 8s on Japanese, which is not ideal. And then we did get the 9 on that Chansey as well, which is strange. I think last time did we get 3 10s or something? Anyway, we got a 9. So we got a 9 and an 8. And then, oh, we got the 10 on the Articuno. Super nice card, surprisingly affordable in a 10. Like, I was surprised how cheap it is. I think it's just around that £40–42 mark, which, again, like, understandably, if you're spending £8 on a card, £15 to grade, good chance of getting a 10, I get it. But just given the artwork, I cannot see this one not increasing over time. Like, surely that's going to increase with time, given that it's Gen 1. Okay, there you go, Gen 1, 151. Bulbasaur, PSA 10, again, really nice card, roughly-ish £50, I think, on top of my head in the PSA 10. So we'll have to see that. I think I've got a couple in the back locker at the moment. We did also get 10 in the 151 Mewtwo. This is the same art that comes in the 151 English Ultra Premium collection. It's not that expensive in a 10, which again I was surprised by, probably only the £40-ish or something like that. But still, nonetheless, very happy to have it. We did get a PSA 10 in the Japanese Braviary. Super nice card. Only submitted the 1, I believe, in this submission, but I do have a few more to submit. Another Nidoking 15110. One of the cheaper 15110s, I should mention as well. Probably only that sort of £30–35 card. We did get a 10 in the Tropius. Again, I submitted one of these, bit of a random one. I just started buying up really cheap art rares, which I thought were particularly undervalued. Probably only paid a couple of pounds for it raw. Would have bought a few of them, still got a few left if I want to grade them. Same situation with the Sunflora. It's never going to be a very expensive card, probably only around that £28–30 mark. We did get the 10 in the Chansey there as well. Very, very nice artwork. I'm sure that's one that'll do well over time. What we got next? The Cleffa. This is a relatively big card to get in a 10. I think at the moment I've got it listed for £60-ish. We'll see if it sells for that. But it's a very nice artwork, and I know a lot of people really, really like this. So very happy to have that in a 10. See what else do we have. Oh, there's the other Sawsbuck. So that is 2 sequential pairs of dealing in Sawsbuck, which is very, very cool indeed. Very happy with that, considering again last time I got a couple of ropey grades on those. We did get the 9 on the regular ETB promo Magneton, which is a shame. When I thought the case was damaged. It's not. When I submitted those, I thought they were all flawless, and I've got a couple of pairs more in the submission still at PSA, so we'll see how that comes back. We did get the 10 on the Quaxwell, which was a Paldean Fates promo. I don't actually know why I submitted them. I think it was just because they all looked pretty good. There wasn't really much strategy behind it. I don't think it's a very expensive card. We got the 9 on the Umbreon EX. I think I have this listed for £25 top of my head, which I think is not too bad. So it's actually, whether it sells for that or not, £20–25. If I can get my money back, I'll be pretty happy. But very nice card, obviously Umbreon fan favourite. And I would have submitted this literally like a day or two after I would have got those packs. So there's not many in the market in the UK at the moment. Speaking of which, we've got a 10, which again, I've got listed for roughly £80 at the moment. It's kind of hard to judge when there's not very many, but we'll see if it sells for that. We'll see if it sells for a little bit less. I would assume it probably will drop slightly, but we'll see. Nonetheless, very happy to get 110. We then got a 10 of Veltol, not going to speak on it. Super sick art, one of the best. So many of these Japanese art rares are unbelievable. We've got the Master Ball Dreepy in a 9. Honestly, couldn't tell you why it got a 9. Got to assume that's probably to do with censoring, just given what they did when the cards were there. Another Bulbasaur in a 10. Very nice. Again, sort of £50. That's me, I think, got maybe like 3 or 4 of them or something over the last couple of submissions. One English, one in the mix. Don't know what it's going to be. Oh, it's the other Magneton non-Pokemon Center one, but it got an 8. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not going to dwell on that too much. We'll probably just PC it for now. I'm not sure what I'll do with it. We got a 9 on that Wartortle. Unfortunate, but it does happen, I suppose. So this one, another Japanese card. Another 10 in the Mewtwo. Very nice. Delighted with that, to be honest. I bought a few of those. I think I might have a couple more in PSA at the moment. Can't remember. Don't quote me on that. Another 10 in the Cleffa. Super sick. I definitely have one at least, I think, still at PSA. Very happy with that. And a 10 in the Farigiraf. Is that how you say it? I don't know. I just really like the artwork. It's like Saharan Desert vibes. Again, really, really cheap card. Got a few more of them if I want to grade some more. It's probably one that I'll grade in the future for the PC, but for now, part of obviously like trying to churn a bit of business action, we'll keep it moving. We got a 9 on the Tech Sticker Collection Leafeon promo, which is a shame. I was kind of hoping that they were all going to get 10s, but this is what it is. We got this 6. Now, this is one I do want to look at. I haven't looked at this yet. We got a 6 on the Pokemon Center ETB promo. I can't see anything. I mean, these were pulled by myself from the ETBs. I think they've done that on accident. I cannot see anything. Wait, is that in? Oh, do you know? There's something trapped in there. Oh, is that? Or is that on the case? No, that's on the case. Your guys' guess is as good as mine. Again, I am not selling that. Like, I'll keep that, crack it, whatever. This will be... I was planning on keeping a 10 pair, but I'll probably just keep this pair because I'm not going to sell it. So quite happy to just stick that in the personal collection, and who knows what I'll do with them in the future. Admire the artwork. I mean, realistically, the artwork doesn't look any different. They were pulled fresh. They look like 10s to me. Japanese, back to the 10 train on the Scizor. Again, really, really, really nice artwork. That and the Infernape are two of my favourites. We have another English here. What have we got? Oh, the 10 on the Hoot Hoot Master Ball. Very low pop at the moment. Again, I've listed this really high because I really don't know what the price is going to be. I think the other cheapest one was 80-ish pounds, so no idea. I'm not going to say it's worth that because, again, I really don't know. I would imagine it's probably going to settle in the 40, 50 pound region. After all, it was maybe £10 raw when it came out. Another Persian, PSA 10. I'm not too sure what the price is settling at these. I know these have dropped slightly, but I still think I've got mine listed for 60-ish pounds. So a relatively expensive Japanese art rare for now. Who knows what the future will do. And another scissor, PSA 10, very nice. This 10 stacks are doing a lot better than last time. Here's the pairing to the Oricorio. This was the Magnezone from Crown Zenith. Really, really nice card. It's literally just got a white dot from memory. What we got next? The Ninetales. This was a card that was doing absolutely brilliant for me. I think I had 4 or 5 of them in a 10 at one point. Couldn't keep them in stock. Delighted to have a couple back, even just for the variation. Who knows, maybe come to a Whatnot stream pretty soon. 10 on the Tyranitar, really nice. Love this card. Again, had a couple in the last submission. We unfortunately got a 9 on the Quaquaval. Is what it is, who knows. Again, it could be centering, but ultimately centering looks pretty decent across the board. We got an 8 on the Glaceon from the tech sticker. I'm not even going to bother spending any time looking at that, I don't know why. We got another 10 on the Crown Zenith Lucario, which is great, we love to see that. Super nice card, probably around that £70 region at the moment. We did get a 10 on the Quaxley, which is why the Quaquaval was such an annoyance, because we did nearly get a sequential 10 set, which I think would have been cooler than 10-10-9. We did get a 10 on that Pokemon Century ETB promo, which is great. Again, I don't know why one gets a 6, one gets a 10, who knows. And we did get a 9 on the Jolteon, so unfortunately, I don't think from memory we got a 10 on any of them. So we submitted all of the Evolution promo cards in order of their promo number, hoping for obviously sequential 10s, and they all got 9s or 8s. We did get Lucario PSA 9, which is fine. Again, like I submitted quite a few. It's expected, I guess, to get one. Interestingly, this submission I didn't get any 8.5s back. Last submission I got 2 or 3. So I've no idea where those 8.5s came from. We did get a 10 on the Latias, which is such a nice card, and it's actually quite hard to 10 on. That these are really hard to pull in good quality. From what I've seen, I opened quite a lot and didn't get very many that I thought were 10 worthy. I wish I could PC it, but I think, again, just given cash flow and making sure that I've got enough coming in for the next submission, we'll probably be moving that one on. I think it is listed on eBay at the moment. And we did get the 9 on the Teal Mask Ogerpon, and this, along with the Pikachu from the last one, they're 2 cards I took a massive L on. So I pulled them both on opening day of Prismatic Evolutions. At the time, the Pikachu was worth £150, and I think this was worth £50. So I could have made £200 off the both of them. And I think now, with the 8.5 and the 9, I'm probably only going to make about £80 or £90. So it's just one of those where it's like, if it's a card that looks potentially too overpriced for what it is at the time, it's probably worth just getting rid of it when the set comes out. Or that's if you're opening new cards. But it is what it is. Neither of the gold cards got a 10, no clue why. So we're on to our last stack here. Overall, we've done pretty well. I'd say we're sort of maybe 60% 10, something around that. We did get 10 on the Salamence, which is obviously lovely to see. I did overpay slightly versus what they are now. I think what I paid raw versus what you'd pay raw now was about £15 more or something. So I paid about £42, and I think it's probably worth about 90. So by the time you factor in grading fees, etc., I'm probably into this for about 60, and I think I'll get about 90, which is, again, it's not bad. It's about 50% margin, which is what most of these typically make. We've got an English card here. Oh, we've got a random Surfing Pikachu VMAX, but nice to see that one got a 10, and know that we did send another one. Oh, we got the Flareon as well, which is a nice card to get a 10 in. I think this is maybe in that 40, 50, 60 pound region, something along those lines. Yeah, here's the other one, which did get the 9, unfortunately. I did submit what I felt were 2 that had a 10 chance. And we did also get a 9 on the Rocket Zapdos, which is a shame. Very cheap card nonetheless. I think it raw is only a couple of pounds. We did finally get a 10 on the Pikachu EX last time. I think we got a 9 or an 8, which is a shame, but nice to see that we did get the 10 there. I think that's worth 40-ish pounds on a 10 at the moment. Another Articuno on a 10, which is great. Really, really like that. I think I've submitted more in the next one. Another Articuno on a 10, really nice. Oh, dropped one. Another Latios on a 10. As you can see, there's a theme. I think I've learned from earlier submissions when I only submitted 1 or 2 of a card. Unfortunately, there's a Flareon there, so yep, that completes our 9s or 8s, I think. Another Stereo Legend of 10. Another English card, just the other... Yeah, okay, there's the other 8. So there, yeah. So it is... Man-type, that was a shame. So when I bought that from Japan, there was only one left in stock. Thought perfect opportunity for a 10, and did get a 9, so I don't have any 10s of that, which is a shame, because I really like that card. Another Stereo Legend of 10, and I know I've submitted more. Oh, okay, we've got the Flying Pikachu in a 9 as well. What else have we got? Another Persian. Yeah, there's not very many new cards coming in, is there? Oh, here's one. The Heliolisk. Really cheap card again. It's one of those where it was like £1 or £2 raw. It'll be probably £28–30 in a 10, so not bad there at all. Glad to have the 10. Another Ninetales. Another Tyranitar. And then another Infernape. So I'm going to transition over to the spreadsheet now and take you guys through what I do when I grade cards. Okay, so I'm just going to take you through my sort of Excel documentation that I do every time I do a PSA submission. This is not to say this is the right thing to do. This is not to say this is the perfect way of doing things. This is just how I do things at the moment. And again, this may evolve. So at the moment, when I go to do a PSA submission, I like to track exactly what I'm submitting, the order that I'm submitting them in, what I think the grades will be, what the raw value of that card is at that point in time, what the predicted graded value of that card is if it gets the predicted grade that I predict. And then I'll go along and add in the actual graded value when it returns. That's not necessarily the sold value. The grading costs, which I tend to factor in exchange rates roughly plus shipping. But I also break out shipping and everything like that as well. The predicted profit from grading, which is then going to be the grading costs taken away from graded cost and raw value, or is it just, it's graded cost taken away from the predicted graded value, sorry. I used to go down and do the sell and keep, but I've not bothered to do that because I've just had too many cards. Then I'll go through and I'll track the actual sold price. Then I'll have the actual profit after fees. That was back when I haven't updated that actually since eBay removed fees, so that's kind of not super relevant. And then the expected profit versus raw value, so then that's the expected net profit, which is broken. But again, it's just because this is a new submission. So I'll go through and feed all that in. And the reason why I've got lots of green stripes across your screen, which is very, very ugly, is because that's my way of tracking which cards I've listed. So I do everything in green when I've listed it, just to make sure that I know that it's on eBay. And then I can go through, so for instance, if I sold Lucario V-Star, so I've only listed the 9 from this submission because I already had a 10 on eBay from the last submission. So if I go and sell Lucario V-Star, I know it's not from this submission, it's from the previous one. And then I can go back and I can go into PSA submission number 3, which I've got a different tab for, and then I can update the sold price there. Now, if I flick to number 3, maybe number 3 is not relevant because I've not updated that. I need to go through and update. If I go to number 2, here you can see where I filled in the actual sold prices. So what I used to do was I used to basically do everything in green that was listed, anything in red which got a grade lesser than what I expected, and then anything in purple which exceeded my expectations. If I unhide these, okay, it's not going to let me unhide the different columns for whatever reason, but this just gives you an idea. So I go through and I mark things off in orange when I've sold them, I then track the actual sold price, and then that shows me the variance as well between the predicted graded value and then the actual sold price. And I guess when PSA submission number 2 was going on, that was when the market was flying, most things were coming back and actually exceeding the price that I thought they were going to be. Everything was going up in price. It's probably going to be the opposite for number 4. So that's why when I scroll down to the bottom, I have some totals. So I had the raw value of the cards when I submitted them in February was £475.50. That's what I think I could have achieved if I sold them all there and then. The predicted graded value of the cards from February, which was a bit tricky because some of the cards hadn't been graded by anybody yet. So I was just using my sort of best knowledge to say that if I graded this Prismatic Evolutions card and got a 10, this is what I think it would be worth. So again, take that with a pinch of salt. My estimated, or the actual graded value now, which is not the sold value, this is just me pricing basically on comps or what I think the card would be worth if there aren't any comps, is 3.173, so a bit of a variance there from the predicted graded value. Some of that will be to do with cards not getting the grade that I expect them to do, and some of that will be because the prices have dropped. Here's your grading costs here, which was just under 1.3k. And then your predicted profit from grading is 1.9 thereabouts. If you were to then take away the raw value, you'd be looking at about 1.4 for this submission, if everything sold at the price which I've put here, which is our actual graded value. So again, this is just my way of keeping everything bookkeeping wise. For me, it's also nice to look back on just to see what I was grading, what I was submitting, what the costs of cards were at certain times. Let me know if this is something that you also do as well. If you've got a better system of doing it, then also I'm interested to hear that. But I think it's also quite a fun one because we might be able to go back in future months or years and look back, and we'll make some videos sort of reminiscing over what submissions looked like back then. But if you guys did enjoy this video, please do subscribe to the channel. My next PSA submission will be back sometime in June, which is about 160 cards thereabouts. So it's a much bigger submission, you'll double the size. So very excited about that. All of these cards that are marked in green are listed on my eBay just now, which is also linked in the description. But yeah, I'll see you very soon with another video.